would say the spiral is one in a class of moves that do the following. Either go all the way to from the grip of the handle to the head, like this. This is the spiral. It's the whole full length of the leash gets wrapped, versus something like this, which is a wrap, which is some portion of it, but not the whole thing. Versus this, which is a tapback, where it's just the tip, just for a second, just to change direction. You practice wrapping the poi around your hand and unwrapping it. And you'll want to notice that you're wrapping from overhand and from underhand, and it feels different from each side. But you should expect to wrap your thumb in and do it so that you're pinching your thumb down. You want it closer to the palm of your hand than the tips of your fingers. Practice both ways, where you have the hand with the poi on top and where you have the hand with the poi underneath. And if it's on top, then that poi is going to wrap from the top down. And if it's underneath it, then the poi is going to wrap from the bottom up and from underhand. Another helpful hint is when you're doing this pattern that I'm doing now, where it wraps, if I just like let my hand sit there, see how the ball looks all out of control like that? Whereas if I do it and I roll in with it, I can control and snap my hand back with it to make it look sharper like that. So you want to practice your snap back, which is two parts. First, there's rolling in. So as the poi is coming around and it rolls to a stop, you roll your hands in with it. And then as it hits, you unroll your hand, snap it back the other way, and try and open your hands up to force the cord to pop off your hand. Demonstrating what I was just doing with my hands, going in this way, and then, oh wait, sorry, I was doing it full length poi. Going in this way, and then snapping back like that. Or going in this way, and snapping back like that. You want to feel that moment where it's coming to the end of the wrap, and you want to practice rolling your hand back with it to unsnap it. Roll in and roll out. And I think it's a little more subtle than you're imagining, but that might take time to feel. And you're trying to feel it roll in, roll in with it, snap it out. Roll in with it, snap it out. Roll in with it, snap it out. Okay, now let's switch hands. Do it with the other hand. Okay, and roll in with it, snap it out. I'm mirroring you, I'm doing clockwise, you're doing anti-clockwise. As you come around, and this is your left hand, my right hand, your left hand is going to come underneath your right hand like this. So you're not really doing it from stillness. You're doing it from motion, and the two hands are going to come in toward each other, stack, and spiral. So if you're going underhand with your left hand, which again, this is my right hand, you're going to come from underneath when you wrap it around the other hand. And then when you spiral out of that, you'll be overhand, and you're going to stack it with that left hand on top. So the left hand moves underneath and moves on top. Now, also relevant, if you watch me do it, you'll notice I'm making an arc to it. The hands don't slide like this. They move with the rotation, right? So if you were to just do the hand exercise, right? Imagine your left hand, mirroring this hand, is coming from underneath and the other one's on top. So you're kind of making these little sine waves with your hands. And zhunk, and zhunk. And then what you need to think about is the two poi are going to be going the same rotational speed, ideally, which means if one of them is making a bigger arc than the other one, like this, you're gonna have some challenges keeping it in the correct timing. So you want to try and make equal and opposite shapes so that you're forming what looks like an infinity symbol at the end. But you don't want to necessarily, I'm putting it up here to make it look pretty, but you probably really want it closer to your center like this. And then, just because we're talking about tips for the spiral, it's also helpful if you tip the hands back like this rather than flat like this. Back like this rather than flat. Because if they're back like this, the poi are going to fall down on the hand to the meaty part of the hand as opposed to the fingertips, and it's more consistent how much string wraps around your hand is more consistent down here than here, because of how tight you could squeeze your fingers. Sound effects invited. We're just alternating between the clockwise version and the anti-clockwise version. And one of them will come over the top of your hand, and the other one will come under the bottom of your hand.